The creative process is a messy thing. The key is knowing how to navigate it. I always knew I wanted to make YouTube videos, but I had no idea how to go about it. I went from being completely new to the world of creating, to second guessing my ideas, to finally taking the plunge and hitting upload. I was terrified at first, but it turned out to be better than I could have ever expected. And that's when I realized the best work doesn't always start with confidence. Sometimes you just have to create it anyway. Hi, I'm Kariza, and today we're going to talk about 3 things that every creative struggles with. From self-doubt, to perfectionism, to finding inspiration, and how to push through beyond these obstacles. Let's get into it. There can be a number of reasons why we stop ourselves from pursuing the things we actually want to do. Whether that's starting a channel, creating that short film, or writing that book you've always talked about. It can be daunting. When I first started making videos and taking things more seriously, the one thing I always struggled with was perfectionism. At that time, I would spend ages making sure that my ideas were good and that my video was edited to perfection, and it might sound like a good thing, but in reality, it held me back from putting out a lot more work. It depends what your priorities are, but more often than not, the best way to get better at doing something is to do that thing over and over again, getting your reps in. It was getting to a point where I knew that I needed to take on a project to get me out of this perfectionism paralysis. And that is actually how I got into vlogging. It was messy, it was experimental, it was imperfect. But through that experience, I learned how to keep things moving and got used to flexing that muscle of not getting caught up in the details. Progress beats perfectionism every single time. Each imperfect project is just a stepping stone to getting better. The more you create, the more you grow. One of the most frustrating things about getting into creative work is when you have a vision in your head, but your execution is not quite there yet. I believe that this is a rite of passage that every single artist goes through. And during this phase, it's easy to fall into comparison or doubt and to be hesitant posting your first video, song, or design. There is a fantastic excerpt called The Gap by Ira Glass, and talks about for the first couple of years that you make stuff, it might not be that good. Actually, more often than not, it won't be that good. But you have good taste, and that's what got you into it in the first place. Eventually, our skill set and our vision match up and it closes that gap. But most people don't wait around long enough to get past the hard part. In this day and age, it is so easy to fall into comparison. We see what other people are posting, trends, generally feeling behind. All of these things are distractions. Block out anything that you need to and just get in touch with your intuition. Everyone has a creative intuition that we know what we like and what we want to make, but it often gets drowned out with the noise from external influences. It's really just about getting back to that. We shouldn't compare our chapter 2 to someone else's chapter 10. Trust in the process and take it one thing at a time. Countless times I would sit down at my desk, ready to work, and then I just wait. Great if you have time, not so much if you have a deadline. Creative blocks happen to everyone, but it's easy to sit in it way too long. Then all of a sudden, it's even harder to start back up again. Trust me, I've been there. You don't want to be there. The key is to get things going anyway. Go take a walk, journal, listen to music, try to write a draft of something even if you think it'll be bad. Action creates inspiration. By showing up and starting, you're already inviting ideas to meet you halfway. And often, the next steps will be revealed. A great thing to remember is that everything is a draft. You might hit version 8 or 9 before you're even satisfied. I think remembering this through the creative process alleviates so much pressure on wanting to make something good, and instead we can just explore and see where it takes us. Creativity is an ever-changing thing. You're not going to be the same artist or writer or creator all throughout your life. You'll evolve and grow. Your tastes will change, your horizons will expand. That's part of it. Follow it. The point is to keep it exciting and feed that curiosity. Perfectionism, fear, lack of inspiration, these are all things that every creative feels. The difference is whether you stop there or create it anyway.